Five guys that love hoops, entertainment, and video games. I'm your host, Mike Skills, and today we got the full squad. We got GonzoStar, Coach Matt Miller, Rad-Remm, Pistol Pete Toll, and we are reacting to Game 5. Now, what I'm going to do in this one, because the group chat was lit, the pre-show was lit, I'm just going to open up the conversation to whoever raised their hand first and who wants to go and lead and tell us what the key to the game was. Okay, Rad-Remm, go.
I'm gonna tell you what the key to the game, man. Forget the keys to the game, man.
That's not the question. That's not the question. I said what the key to the game was.
Hey, look. I'm gonna do like Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. I'm gonna leave the door open. I hate Steph Curry. I hate that big head Aisha. I don't like his daddy. I don't like his brother. I don't like his father-in-law, Doc Rivers. I don't like his daughter neither.
Question.
I don't like the Rivers family. I don't like the Warriors. I don't like the Curry family. I can't stand that Klay Thompson, nor his scrub daddy. I can't stand that donkey from Shrek. That I can't stand. Jordan Poole is a scrub. A bona fide scrub. A scrub. He should have been with Donald Faison on that show, Scrubs, because that's what he is, a scrub. You put him on any other team, he's not doing that. That bank shot he hit, he shouldn't have counted. I hate the Warriors, man.
Can I ask you a question, B?
I ain't got nothing else to say, man.
Can I ask you
basketball? Ask me a question.
All we need to ask him is he's still salty over the 27 missed threes in a row by the Rockets, and that's what started this whole hate against the Warriors.
But you omit this part. If Chris Paul plays, what happens?
His ass gets bounced just like he did this year with Phoenix.
They win.
They don't.
We don't know. We don't know. But what we do know is Houston missed 27 threes playing exactly like the Warriors that you hate.
Hey, I should be the one that plays.
No.
That's
because
I could play the what if game too. If Kawhi doesn't hit that dagger three like rolled around against Philly, maybe Jimmy Butler's still there, Redick's still there. It's a whole different thing. We can all play the what if game. The fact is the Warriors are the better team right now, and we're seeing it. So you can say what you want to, just because of your disdain for the Warriors. That's fine. That's your opinion. But at the end of the day, you can't fault a team for being as good as they are. But Boston, at the end of the day, has shot themselves in the foot time and time again in this series, and that's what it comes down to. Again, they had the momentum. The pull three kind of changed it. They came out flat in the fourth quarter with Derek White getting wide open threes that he can't hit. Then you start turning it over with Jaylen Brown. Tatum starts ISOing with his sorry-ass fadeaway that he tries to emulate Kobe with. And it's like, dude, you were a Lakers fan growing up. Are you really trying to fuck the Boston Celtics internally? Because something's wrong here because you can't play this bad being a superstar. Maybe it's the Lakers fandom of his childhood coming out or something. But something's got to give. I do think we see Scott Foster in Game 6 as a referee, so we're going to get the series extender, but then Golden State mops the floor in Game 7.
Interesting. GonzoStar, what did you see over here, man? Because I can't see your face, so I don't know if you're holding your hand up.
Man, I seen the dominance of Andrew Wiggins defensively on the glass.
Yes.
Man, he killed it tonight. Kevin Looney, let's talk about him, man. Like getting those rebounds, man, and just keeping possessions, keeping the ball alive for him. But on the downside, let's talk about. I'm tired of the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown talk. They're two okay players, good players, but they're nothing more than that. They dribble like two 2K generic characters on 2K with dribbling ratings of like 68 and like 65.
Yes.
I mean, anytime they go into the paint, the ball's going to get lost. They can't take the ball, but they can't even like take the ball off the ground and even make a jump pass which you shouldn't be jump passing anyway, but they can't pass to save their life within the paint. They're not. I think that Jason Tatum his defense has gotten better, but he's still not really good on those switches. I mean, Tatum 2 for 6 from the free throw line. I mean, let's be serious. When you're shooting that few amount of free throws, you should make all of them. Honestly, I mean, there's no need to be missing those. I don't even see Boston moving around like Horford and Pritchard and those guys moving around like they did in game 1 and 2. It just looks like they're just standing around, just hoping Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown make something happen. Um, the Boston coach Ime Udoka, he just seems to look like a rookie coach in the finals. He's not making any adjustments. The bench isn't even playing at all. I
Yeah.
mean, why isn't Daniel Tice playing any of this series? I'm quite sure you can get somebody to breathe for 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not even using that guy, So I don't know, man. I feel sorry for Boston, and I too. I'm gonna be honest. I don't hate the Warriors because of the way they play. Because I think they have guys who can shoot. They got the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they're me personally. I just think that they talk so much crap like they never needed Kevin Durant, and I saw that they can be snakes too. How they talk so bad about him, and I mentioned this before. They talked so bad about him after he won the first time during the parade. They talked about him during you jumped this team, you came to our team to win a championship, or you became a bandwagon hopper. They made all these jokes. When he left, they made all these jokes, and they try to downplay his significance in making them a dynasty. And it let me know that they kind of cocky. They really felt like they really won those championships. They won the first one because LeBron's team was hurt, and LeBron got 2 games by himself against them. The second year they lose. The next 2 years, Kevin Durant makes you guys the dynasty that you are. And really, this year is like they want to win this year to cement Steph's legacy, to say, oh, we never needed KD. No, you just needed all of your teams to be injured, and you needed a Boston team to be pretty stupid for you to win. So to me, all this stuff that you never needed Kevin Durant and all this crazy talk. I mean, yeah, Warriors, you got your 4 championships, but we know how you got them.
But see, I think it's more Draymond saying the KD stuff than anything else.
Yeah.
You got Clay's arrogant, we get that. But when you're that good of a shooter, hell, I'll be cocky too. I'll say fuck everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming? Like Larry Bird was the same way. Who's coming in who's coming in second? Like
Yep.
I don't hate on the cockiness, but if you take Draymond out of it, I don't think any of the other Warriors feel that same way about KD. They just have their personal thing, and it's playing out. Now, I agree KD was vital to what the Warriors were doing, but let's not get it twisted. All the way back to the Mark Jackson days, Golden State was already assembling an elite team. They just needed to find the pieces, properly balanced within the system to win, and Steve Kerr should get credit for that, regardless of how people feel. Now, you can sit there and say all day long what ifs across the board as far as Golden State winning or not winning, but at the end of the day, I mean, they're one of the most elite teams ever for multiple years on offense. Now, you can say what you want, whether you like them or you don't, but you have to respect that they're one of the greatest dynasties of all time.
And I think we'll all agree in this that Clay and Steph are the 2 best 2-point shooters, best 2 shooters in probably NBA history. Before that, I would have said Reggie Miller. I would have said Ray Allen. I wasn't alive to see Mr. Clutch, Jerry West. I wasn't alive to see some of the shooters of years past. But in what I've seen as far as pure shooters, they're up there. And the league is a copycat league. When Michael Jordan was dominant, the formula became, okay, we need a big guard. Everyone went out, tried to get a big guard and have the next Jordan. People went out, drafted Ray Allen, went out, drafted Harold Miner was supposed to be the next Jordan. Isaiah Ryder was supposed to be the next Jordan. And the same thing happens with this era. Steph, Clay, the Warriors, they win shooting threes. Everybody starts shooting threes, but not everybody has the personnel. And tonight, we saw it when Boston started the game 0 for 12 from 3, and then they went on that run in the third quarter when they hit 8 straight. Them threes look good when they going in, but when they not, they look horrible. And if you look at the threes, don't just look at the stats. Look at and this is what I was really focusing on in that second half, the quality of the looks. Jason Tatum was jacking threes. Jaylen Brown was jacking threes. Derek White was wide open. He couldn't throw a stone in the ocean. He was like, it was embarrassing. And then furthermore, Steph has changed his game to get to the cup. Tatum and Brown have the size, the athleticism, and everything to get to the cup. And for whatever reason, throughout this entire series, they're blowing layups. Like, say what you want to say, but I counted at least 5 blown layups in that second quarter when they went down 16. I was like, one after another. Tatum getting to the cup, and he's not even complaining like he got fouled. He's just like, damn, I missed it. Damn, I missed it. I missed it. And when Gonzo was talking about this last episode, and I think he was in game 3 too, it's like, how many layups are these guys gonna miss? Like, Matt, I know we had this conversation off. How many missed layups did you count tonight for the Celtics?
Well, the missed layups weren't what got me. But first, I'm going to get into all the game stuff. But I am shocked. Pete has brought the rated R content tonight with the bad language. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hey, it's guilt by association, man. We're a bad influence on you, man.
I try to keep it clean, but when I get fired up, sometimes it just.
Hey, man, let it fire, let it fly, let it fly.
I think I brought that out of Pete tonight, man.
Yeah. And then number 2, because guys, typically it's my little catchphrase. Andrew Wiggins was fantastic.
Yes.
But with the Celtics, it was the 18 turnovers.
Yes.
And they showed the stat going into the second half when they convert 16 times.
Matt, you're kind of breaking up, man.
Yeah, Matt seems to be having some technical.
Yeah, Matt seems to be having some technical. When Matt dials back in, we will. His internet is tripping. And I want to ask this question: if I told you before this game, Rad, that Steph Curry was going to be limited to 16 points and Boston was going to keep him in check, and they would still lose by about 15 points, would you believe that?
Yes, because I understand now that I'm kind of out of my emotions, out of my feelings. 100% yes, because I understand that play in the finals is more sporadic than the regular season, and I understand how a team as experienced as the Warriors are, with a coach as experienced as the coach they have, is, I know that he will make adjustments and he will put in different rotations. And I knew it was a matter of time before a guy like Wiggins was going to have a good night. This series is very reminiscent of when OKC played Miami. You had these two guys, really three, and Harden, 3 MVPs, and Harden, Durant, and Westbrook. And I think this team is similar in the fact that it's like, well, you have Tatum, you have Brown, who haven't quite figured it out yet, and they're older than those guys were, but they haven't quite figured it out yet. And then you've got the Defensive Player of the Year, and I think Pete said I think they're being outcoached, and like it's also reminiscent of game, I think was it 7 of the Lakers and the Celtics, when you had someone like Artest step it up. And I think that if you've been watching the game for as long as we have, you understand that there's always going to be some unsung hero that's going to step up and hit the big shots and have good nights. Will he's been good like on the boards and defensively this series and actually throughout the playoffs, but will he have another game like that? Probably not. But because he had a game like he had tonight, they now have the 3-2 advantage. So yeah.
And don't forget Gary Payton the second, also both ends of the floor. I mean, he gives you 15 points. Gary Payton the second, who's not supposed to be a scoring guard, gives you 15 points. Defensively, is able to guard both Tatum and Brown. Every time he got on one of them, they would throw the ball to like Marcus Smart to get it away, and then basically try to get the ISO on the other side. And to me, just it really frustrates me with Jason Tatum because I'm like, you're 6'9", 6'10".
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to have the ability to dribble in without. What he does is he dribbles in and he holds the ball kind of out.
Mm-hmm.
And when he holds that ball out every time, it's stripped. Or he gets, and it's stripped, and then he's like, oh, I got fouled. And I'm like, dude, get back on defense.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Like, there's 9 turnovers between him and Brown. And I guarantee if I go back and watch, probably 6 out of the 9 turnovers are stupid drives to where they're not holding on to the ball.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
It's just frustrating across the board. Then you got the bench. Yes, Udoka really doesn't have a ton on the bench to play. But like Gonzo said, where's Daniel Tice to give some minutes to the front court? If Grant Williams isn't knocking down threes from the corner, why are you out there? You're not doing anything else. Put Tice out there. He can get some rebounds with his height and at least play a little bit of defense. You got Derek White out there. If he's not scoring, luckily they took him out pretty fast to put Smart back in. I believe it was in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, like that fourth quarter when Curry didn't start that fourth quarter is when Boston should have blitzed the Warriors and got a controlling command of it and forced Curry to come back in and start jacking those threes to get them back in the game since he's already out of rhythm. Then it's like, all right, 2 or 3 missed threes from Curry. You score on the other end 2 or 3 times, that lead goes to 7, 9, 11 points. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, now we can kind of slow it down and things like that. But Boston's not done that. Boston hasn't pushed it to Golden State at all. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it the other way, yes, Boston's been defensively, really well against Curry, but they didn't do anything to stop any of the other guys. So it's like, all right, if I'm Curry, I'm like, yeah, you can shut me down all day long. I'm going to let Clay go off. I'm going to let, Wiggins go off. And Boston had no answer for that. They were step slow on defense, switching on guys. And it's like, this is the finals. What are they going to sit there and say? Oh, we're proud we made it as a young team. We'll be back. Mm-hmm. No, you won't. Not with the way that the NBA landscape is going. You have no idea what Miami's going to refuel with next year. You have no idea what Milwaukee's going to change up and do next year. Philly might get a little bit better, along the way. You might have an emerging team come out of nowhere that nobody even thinks could get there. What if Brooklyn and Ben Simmons comes back, looking good defensively and can help a little bit on offense? All those variables in there, like there's no telling that Boston may ever get back.
And one of the points you made that I actually wrote it in my notes. I was about to text you guys. I guess Jordan Poole has become unplayable. And literally when I was about to hit send, he comes in the game, hits 2 threes, and I'm just like, nope, not sending that text. It was like the bench of Golden State showed up. It was almost a reversal of last game. Everything that Curry did last game, all the other guys did this game. Wiggins had a great game. Clay had a good game. Everyone that didn't show up in Boston in Game 4 had a great game. And Curry had 16 points after dropping 43, and Boston lost. Matty boy, I saw something in there that I put this in my notes too, and I put it in there just for you, Matt. I said, what are these Boston scoring droughts, man?
Is the audio good now?
Yeah, we hear you. You back?
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It's just the way they play. There's a lot of just when they get, part of it is the Warriors' defense. We've got to say it. They switch everything. They force Boston to play a lot of ISO ball, which leads to standing. Mm-hmm. And the 18 turnovers. When you're turning the basketball over, the driving kicks aren't there now because you've turned it over. They're not even going to get a chance to pass it out because, like I think what Pete was saying, they drive, they get stripped. They take too many dribbles. And then, when they're going ISO, you're seeing Tatum with the little sidestep, trying to dance out there, miss. And that's part of the problem, when you turn the ball over like this. And I was going to say this, I believe they are 1-6 when they turn it over. Well, now 1-7, I believe, after this game, when they turn it over 16 or more times.
Yeah.
If they turn it over, they don't win. The offense, then it stinks.
Yes.
And they just don't have enough depth offensively of guys who can get their own.
Yeah.
Smart can be hit or miss from time to time. When he's making shots, yes, but you don't expect it consistently. So, and that's what I'm noticing on that end. And then on the other end, Curry had a stinker. But Wiggins was fantastic.
Yeah.
Wiggins was fantastic tonight.
Wiggins was fantastic.
Now, did you say a stinker?
Yes, he had a stinker tonight. That's exactly what I said.
That's the way you describe a toddler when their diaper is full. We got a stinker over here. Somebody needs to change
It
them.
was a bad game.
Well, he had a flashback. He gave a face like he had a flashback to his diaper days.
Oh,
like,
man.
you got
When I
that?
had to change my niece's diapers, yeah, man.
Yeah, look at Matt. Matt going through it right now. If you're watching on YouTube, look at Matt's face right now. He is traumatized from changing niece's diapers. But continue, Matt.
He looked like he was watching the paper. Like, you got that, babe? Okay.
Stop. That was for my nieces.
This is
go
why
ahead,
for
man.
everybody watching. This is why he does not have kids.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons.
That's part of it. Yes, it sucks
Mhm.
doing that stuff. But I think just going forward, if Boston can play without turning the basketball over, they got a good chance of winning. If they turn it over, they're going to lose Game 6.
Yeah.
So
That's really what it comes down to me. And they've got to make free throws too.
Oh,
Golden
yes, absolutely.
Golden State's 0-3 in road elimination games in the playoffs so far.
They're due for a win. But I did want to say this: Boston, like Mike had mentioned, they had that 8.5-minute run. What is about 8.5 minutes from the start of the third, and they go up 5. They get up 5 or 6. They're making all their threes. But I was like, I think they hit like 8 out of 10 at one point in that quarter.
They hit 8 straight.
And then Marcus Smart missed, and then they got the rebound and he hit it, so they made 9 out of 10. Yes, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, they're playing right into the Warriors' hands. They're not going to continue to shoot like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could see it coming, and it got them only up 6. I'm like, yeah, the Warriors are still in good shape.
Yeah, I was like, this is the best that Boston has. Golden State's going to kill them if Curry can get going or somebody else can at least get them a little momentum, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. The pool shot was huge.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even think that necessarily, yes, it changed a little bit of the momentum, but Boston just psyched themselves out like they always do. Instead of the third quarter falling flat, they waited till the fourth quarter to fall flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
they came out completely flat in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you can't play. So if you play the Warriors game of 3-ball, you're going to get killed. And if you slow it down and go ISO, you better make every damn ISO shot. Otherwise, it's going to be points on the other end for Golden State, and that's exactly what happens. I'm sorry. I want to like Jason Tatum, and I want him to elevate to be a star. To me, he's just not there yet. You can say, oh, they got to the finals, whatever. I'm like, look at who on each side of the bracket of which teams played, how injuries impacted each series. If Chris Middleton played in that Milwaukee series, we play the what-if game, would they have gotten past Milwaukee? I personally do not think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they have enough yet.
On that.
I think they needed one more piece.
100. You are 100% correct. Just like if KD's foot was on the line, Milwaukee would have never made it last year.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. When we play that game, we go round and round and round.
Right.
And I have to say this, up until about midway through the fourth quarter, this was one of the best games of the series. And then Golden State put it away, and it was just, after that, it was just a mess. But my goodness, what a game. I hope everyone at home loved the game as much as we are. I look forward to hearing the feedback of anybody watching this on YouTube, please. We want to hear y'all in the comment section what y'all thought, whose take y'all agree with. But also, what do y'all thought about the game? And when y'all get a chance, if you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple, whether you're on Stitcher, please leave a review of the podcast and let us know you're thinking, how you're enjoying the takes. Man, guys, I don't know what else is there to say tonight. This was a great pod. This is I gotta say, this was lit. This is litty.
I want to say this. My rant in the beginning might have been exaggerated. I was I want to issue an apology to the Curry family. I still don't like you. Only curry I like is curry chicken, curry shrimp, maybe some curry goat. But yeah, that's
All right.
Real quick, I got one more. And also, when you get into these comments, if you think any of us are full of shit, let us know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know I'd be full of shit. I gotta go in the bathroom in a few minutes, so it's all good. I'm not.
down,
Mike,
but you can
Mike,
tell
Mike
us.
Skills, that is the perfect segue to close it out.
All right. Again, we are five guys that love sports, entertainment, and video games. Again, this is your host, Mike Skills, along with GonzoStar, Pistol Pito, Rad-Remm, Coach Matt Miller. We are Loop City, and we are out.